Good morning on this Sunday. Thanks for checking in with us here at Atlanta News First, and happy Father's Day. Hope your day is off to a great start. I'm Megan Packer here at the First Alert desk here with Atlanta News First again, and we are here to update you on some of the day's top stories and Atlanta's most accurate forecast. So again, it is Father's Day. We know you were making those plans to get outside, so we've got First Alert meteorologist Courtney Jacobazzi ready to jump in here in just a moment to update you on the forecast, not only for today, but the week ahead as a lot of you go back to work. So we'll chat with her in just a minute. But right now, I do want to get you updated on what is making news right now in Georgia. And we do have a news story just into our newsroom a little while ago. We're talking about a deadly shooting inside of a prison here in Georgia. This happened at Smith State Prison around 4:30 this morning. That prison is in southeast Georgia. The Georgia Department of Corrections tells us that an inmate by the name of Jadrakis Hart shot and killed an Aramark food service employee while working in the kitchen. They say Hart then turned the gun on himself and was pronounced dead at the hospital. This is a photo of that inmate. The Georgia Department of Corrections now has the gun. They are conducting an investigation into how this happened. Hart had been serving 20 years for voluntary manslaughter out of Carroll County. So they are just starting this investigation after this early morning shooting inside of the kitchen there at Smith State Prison. But of course, the big question is, how did a prison inmate get his hands on a gun? So a lot of questions to be answered there. But sadly, the Aramark Food Services employee was killed. And then again, the suspect, the inmate, also pronounced dead after officials say he turned the gun on himself. It is another very, very hot day across Metro Atlanta today. We know people are looking for ways to stay cool. The City of Atlanta's cooling center at the Selena Butler Park and Rec Center is open from 11 until 6 today. HVAC workers are out and about, working on tune-ups, helping people with their systems, make sure the AC is cranking. DeKalb County, we should tell you, they don't have a specific cooling center open, but they've got their libraries and recreation centers are open today to get in from the brutal heat. A man from Atlanta died while on vacation in California. 45-year-old Hans Materne was on vacation with his family near Santa Cruz earlier this month. Deputies say he was found dead in the water after he went in to go swimming. They do not suspect foul play. His wife posted on a GoFundMe account that he was an incredible father, husband, and friend. The Atlanta City Council is considering some relief that small businesses could get after that water crisis here in Atlanta a few weeks ago. The council is considering $5 million to help businesses impacted by the water main breaks earlier this month. If they approve it tomorrow, small business owners could apply for money starting July 24th and could get it by the end of next month. Now, this money would only be for places like restaurants, daycare centers, coffee shops, or cleaners. So again, we should know more after Atlanta City Council meets tomorrow, Monday. But in the meantime, business owners are just asking for your support. If you are in downtown, they're asking for you to go by their coffee shops and their restaurants and spend some money after, they were forced to close because of all of those water main breaks and the ripple effect that had across the city. The City of Atlanta's electric bike rebate program starts today. This is pretty interesting. The city approved $1 million in January to give out $500 to $2,000 rebates. The amount you get depends on your income. They expect up to 700 e-bikes to be bought through the program. And listen to this. The city says the average person in Metro Atlanta spends more than $11,000 on transportation, but the annual cost to power an e-bike is only about $15. Not too bad. And this is, I would say, a good day to get out and ride your bike, but just pick the timing that you go out very carefully because it is so hot out there already, and we are in for a very hot day. Looking outside at Truist Park now in Cobb County. Braves are playing at home here today, Courtney. What is it, a 1:35 game?
1:35.
So people will be quite toasty. So let's bring in First Alert meteorologist Courtney Jacobazzi to talk about this forecast. It is a First Alert weather day.
Yes, it is. Because of the heat, the humidity, it'll be one of the hottest days of the year. We had a 95-degree day on Friday. We did end up hitting 97 yesterday, and I was checking through kind of like the archives hour by hour through the day yesterday. Our heat index did go to 100 degrees yesterday afternoon, so it was a steamy one, especially for that 4:10 game. In fact, that heat index value of 100 was recorded at 4 o'clock when that game kicked off. So it was a steamy one. It'll be another hot one today. Again, we hit 95 Friday. We are on track to hit 95 again today. So that will tie the second hottest day so far of 2024. I'm First Alert meteorologist Courtney Jacobazzi. Let's talk about everything you need to know, because not only do we have the heat to contend with today, but also a slightly higher chance for thunderstorms. So let's get you right on into your Father's Day forecast. If you have any plans with Dad today, especially if they are outdoors, I can't stress enough to just drink plenty of water. You want to make sure you're wearing your sunscreen, because that sun angle this time of year is pretty harsh. UV index really high, just something to keep in mind. By 2 o'clock, temperatures in the low 90s, and we'll stay in the low 90s through 6 p.m. with that chance for storms really developing after 1 o'clock this afternoon. 30% coverage at best, so it's not going to ruin any of your plans, but if you do plan to head to the pool, or you're planning on heading to any of our lakes, maybe you're going golfing this afternoon or have any lunch plans, thunderstorms start to roll on by, just head indoors until they pass. They're very quick acting thunderstorms this time of year in the setup we're in. We call them pulse thunderstorms. They usually rain themselves out within about half an hour. So just be mindful of that if you have any outdoor plans. Here's a look at that heat index. This is what's really important, because you pair the heat and the humidity together. This is the number you get. This is what it'll feel like on your skin. By noon, it'll already feel like the low 90s, and it will feel more like the triple digits again this afternoon. So again, just can't stress enough to find ways to stay cool. If you are headed to that Braves game today, again, first pitch at 1:35, it is going to feel more like the mid 90s at the start of the game and more like the triple digits by the end. Maybe a brief rain delay for that game for the second half as we make our way into the later innings, but the game won't ultimately get canceled. We'll just have maybe a brief rain delay if any storms do pop up over Truist. The big story, though, definitely the heat. Here's a look at those high temperatures area-wide. Low to mid-90s, 95 for a high in Atlanta and in Rome, 95 in Griffin, 94 in Athens, low 90s up in the mountains and up in Hall County over near Lake Lanier. It'd be a great day to be out on the lake. Let's talk about that rain chance. Models have kind of pulled back on the rain chance just a touch, but nonetheless, after 1, 2 o'clock, we'll have that chance for those pulse thunderstorms to develop, a very summer-like setup. Essentially, the atmosphere will take advantage of all that moisture it has to offer. You'll see those tall cumulonimbus clouds form first, and then thunderstorms will develop thereafter, and we'll have the chance for just some scattered storms through about sunset tonight. After sunset, we'll start to dry out, and we'll be mostly dry for your Monday morning, and we'll be mostly dry on Monday regardless. About a 10% rain chance at best, so we're not even putting one on the 7-day, maybe a spotty thunderstorm, but most of us will stay dry. We'll start the morning in the mid-70s. It'll be another warm and muggy start. Temperatures will climb into the mid-80s by noon. We'll be a touch cooler tomorrow. It'll still be humid, so it'll feel like the mid to upper 90s, but highs at the surface will climb into the low 90s under partly cloudy skies for the start of the work week. High temperatures the rest of the week staying in the low 90s, which is still above average. Our average high is in the mid to upper 80s this time of year, so we will exceed that throughout the entirety of the 7-day forecast. It'll be a hot one. The good news is Tuesday and Wednesday in particular, maybe into Thursday, this is what to expect. So what you're looking at are dew point temperatures Tuesday evening around 5 o'clock. Dew points in the 50s. So that's actually pretty comfortable for this time of year. So some lower humidity, also an afternoon breeze. We could have gusts upwards of 15 to 20 miles per hour Tuesday and Wednesday afternoon. It'll make a pretty pleasant day considering, you know, we've had days, the past couple of days, where you've been melting with heat index values in the upper 90s to triple digits. Some slightly drier air and a breeze Tuesday and Wednesday, even though it's paired with temperatures in the upper 80s to low 90s, will feel a lot more pleasant than the past couple of days. A little more tolerable. That's probably the best word. But then as we head into the end of the week, we will start to have that humidity return and also some rain chances return. And that could be due to some tropical activity. So we're not super concerned with this. It's not like we're going to have a tropical storm develop and move through the area, but we could get some tropical-like showers in the form of some heavier rain if a disturbance develops off the coast of Florida. We'll talk about that in just a second. First, we'll go to this one in the Southwest Gulf. 60% chance of development. That low really hasn't developed just yet. but it is forecast to, and that could impact parts of Texas. That's not forecast to impact us. However, a low that is expected to develop right now, it's kind of starting to brew down kind of off the southeast coast of Florida. 30% chance of development on that, and that could potentially get steered into the southeast and could bring us a rain chance. Again, doesn't look like this will develop into anything tropical, but it could bring us some more tropical downpours just because it's going to pull a lot of moisture into the area. Something we'll be keeping an eye on. Hurricane season, of course, started June 1st, and it's been a very quiet start to hurricane season. In fact, the quietest start in 10 years, but it looks like it's starting to ramp up. And just looking long range, it looks like we will more than likely start to be getting those areas of interest more often. It looks like we're going to start to see some higher chances of development as we head into the next few weeks as fronts start to stall and more lows start to develop. And of course, the water's plenty warm. So something we'll, of course, be watching for you very carefully. Here's a look at that First Alert 7-day forecast. So our First Alert weather day today for the heat and the humidity. It's one of the hottest days of the year today. Mid-90s, feeling closer to the triple digits with a chance for scattered afternoon storms, mainly after 2 o'clock. And not a reason to cancel plans, though, if you have them outdoors. Waking up in the mid-70s tomorrow, highs in the low 90s Monday, maybe an isolated storm, but for the most part, we're dry, 10% chance of rain at best. And then the humidity will drop slightly Tuesday and Wednesday. The mornings will be a little more comfortable in the low 70s, highs in the low 90s. And then we'll start to introduce rain chances on Friday and then again on Saturday. Friday's rain chance could be from that low that's trying to develop off the coast of Florida. So that rain chance will more than likely change as we go through the week. And then Saturday, it looks like we head back into more of just a summer-like pattern with isolated afternoon storms and temperatures in the low 90s. Feeling hotter, though. That humidity, that break from the humidity will be very brief as we head into Tuesday and Wednesday, maybe extending into Thursday if we're lucky. All right, everyone, I hope you make it a wonderful day. A happy Father's Day to all of the dads out there who are watching. Hopefully this day is wonderful for you. Stay cool today, no matter what you're doing, especially if it involves outdoor activity, and we'll catch you here next time.